Did you see the video? I think it was from the DNC. It was like it was kind of weird because I saw it trending so much. It was like this thing where like they went and then they passed it on to a different Democrat.
Like, were they holding something, or they?
No, no,
That's
they
a
just
dance move.
that's it. That's it. They just go, and then the next person gets it, and then they go and they pass it on.
No, I didn't
It
see
was really
this.
it was really weird. And also the thing about it that I don't understand, it's like they couldn't get enough people to actually make it a thing. So it's like just five Democrats doing that. It's like it's sort of like the Imagine video from the early days of the pandemic, but they just couldn't get enough people involved. So it's just like Kamala, Hillary Clinton, AOC, and Pete Buttigieg. It's so weird, dude. I think that actually might be a funny thing to
Yeah, we can clip that
react to. Um,
or react to it. Yeah.
it's so short
I
too.
already started recording, by the way.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
feel like you were just talking.
Um,
I was like, oh, this sounds like like we started. I'm gonna go ahead
this
and do
sounds
it.
like a podcast. Let me find it. The I don't even know what to call it. I said it was like the DNC pass it on because they're like
Yeah. You know what?
it's just
You
really
could send it
awkward.
to me after the fact, and we'll just I'll clip
Yeah.
it together with it. You gave a good explanation of the weirdness.
Okay. It's a weird little moment, and also like, I just think it's like it's just funny that they didn't get more people because then it actually might have been a thing. But it's just sort of like, wait, that's it? That's the whole entire thing?
They probably were like, this doesn't look cool. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were just like, this is embarrassing. It's gonna backfire. But it's just I don't know. It's fun to make fun of. It's easy to make fun of.
Yeah.
So okay, okay, since we're recording, let's talk about this guy, William Shatner, the actor. You've heard of him?
I have.
He was on T.J. Hooker, and then he was on Rescue 911, and then he was in the Star Wars movies. And he is also a guy that just recently went to space, like Blue Origin, I think, the Amazon rocket. He went up to space. He looked down. He said it was the most moving, breathtaking experience of his life changing. But he still believes the Earth is flat.
No, he had that belief before he got shot up into space, right?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. I think he was a flat earther. He got the opportunity to go see the Earth, and he came back down. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's flat." I'm like, he hasn't explained it well, but it's like, did you see all of the continents and everything just like all at the same time? What are you talking about, dude? I mean, he's 90, so it could be he was confused or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it could be
man,
too that from his angle, I know even when you're in space, like
hmm
you're only like the planet's huge, right? You're still only like that much above. You should be able to see curvature,
yeah,
no problem. But like maybe that's why it didn't.
I don't know.
Maybe this dude needs to go to the moon. But to be honest, I don't feel like we should have to pay
I
for
don't think
that.
we need to invest any more in William Shatner.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be concerned with changing people's minds. That like Candace Owens, for instance.
I didn't know she was a flat earther. That's crazy.
There's some clips we can pull up, and she's not convinced that she's not a I guess she doesn't have like a hard line where she's like, yes, I don't believe the Earth's flat. She's like taking a position where she's like, I don't know. It's suspicious. Like,
I think she's doing that for the clicks. I don't believe that. That sounds very griftery. I don't know, man. I think also there's a big part of it is like just it's sort of like the punk rock, sort of like anti-authoritarian. Like I don't trust my government, anything they tell me, even if it's the shape of the earth. It's like that. It's just like that's a part of it.
yeah, she doesn't
But
believe we
come
went to the
on,
moon. She thinks all that was fake. She said that in Bill
I don't.
Maher's podcast, and she said it. I think she said it a couple times. But I don't know, man.
I just.
There's a lot of strange things happening in like conservative circles. Not every conservative, but
Mhm.
um, there's some other ones that are on that Blaze TV network, which is like the Daily Wire. Her name's Ali Stuckey. She used to be on Fox News for some stuff, but she's like an evangelical conservative. She just thinks dinosaurs aren't real. She thinks the dinosaur
Okay.
bones. It's all nerd stuff. It's all made
That's
up.
so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
But the problem is like these people, Candace Owens, Ali Stuckey, like they have like pretty big followings, and I think that's I don't know. It's
Dangerous?
super dangerous, yeah. I mean, I believe in freedom of speech, but like at the same time, I'm like, man, you guys are really pushing it with like
Yeah.
turning us into like a that idiocracy movie.
Yeah, freedom of speech when it comes to just like stupidity, I'm okay with. It's just
Yeah.
dangerous if it's like, hateful or something. That's fine if they want to broadcast their, you know, their tiny brain. That's fine. What have you ever talked to a flat earther in real life? Have you ever met one?
Uh, I have not. No.
I've met two of them, and both of them were Uber drivers, and both of them were very long Uber rides, like where I was stuck in the car for like an hour with these guys who just believed in it. And I asked them both. I was like, "So, what's on the what's on the other side, the bottom side of the flat Earth?" And like, "That's the mystery, man." I'm like, "You can't have this like this whole worldview and not be able to explain such a simple thing like that."
Yeah,
Or
do they think all like the private satellites and the space station, like I can see them saying,
it's all
"Oh, the
fake. Yeah,
space station is fake because the government's involved." But like there's tons of
yeah,
private satellites that have been shot into
right.
orbit. That's how satellite internet works. Starlink. We've had
Hmm.
satellite internet for a long time. GPS, do they think explain like they have to do a lot of explaining that they can't do?
That would have been a great question to ask an Uber driver. How's the GPS working, dude?
Yeah.
I didn't think of that one, but that's great.
You would have just got heard crickets, I'm pretty sure. They'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
like,
don't
or
know."
that's part of the mystery, man. Yeah, how's the eclipse work? How's that work? How does anything work?
There's something to it too where I feel like it's important to ask people like what would change your mind. And if they
Mhm.
can't tell you, it's almost not even worth debating it. Be like, "Okay, you're just like locked into this."
Right. It does those people, both of them too. I think they both said the same thing of you got to do your own research, man. It's so funny. Um,
Yeah, what
yeah, just
experience? What?
on
Yeah, I would reply to, "Okay, can you tell me about the experiments you did to come up with your?"
I do love I mean, I'm not a dummy. I don't believe in it, but I
Yeah.
love the movement because it creates really funny documentaries and videos online of like
Oh
people
yeah.
like who are doing their own experiments, and then they're like, "Well, that doesn't make sense," because they are seeing curvature or something. Like,
Yeah.
there's the guy who he bought like some really expensive piece of equipment, and then he tests it, and he's like, "Okay, something's wrong with the machine. It's
Oh
saying
yeah,
there's
I saw
curvature."
that. Oh, that can't be right. Oh, the one where he's holding the light and he has to like he's like it should
Yeah,
be you should be able to see it here.
right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
you're a couple miles away. All right, raise it up.
yeah.
Yeah, now I see it. It's like, yeah.
Or there's the British guy who's he has like the swinging gate experiment where he just swings a gate back and forth open and he's like, "See? There is flat because the gate swings this way." It's like
Oh
I
my
don't even
gosh.
understand what he's trying to like represent there. Anyway, flat earthers, you should like and subscribe to this channel. We're
We're
we
open-minded.
support you.
Change. Maybe I need to do one of those Steven Crowder things. Change my mind. The Earth's round. I just want them to flock and explain their science to me.
It's such an odd thing that like the first time I heard it too, the flat Earth theory when I was in the Uber, it was the first time I ever heard of this. Like I was like, oh, I didn't even know people disputed this. Like that's crazy to me.
The first time I heard it, it was like 2017, and I,
It sounds about right for me as
yeah,
well.
I heard it online, and I was like, this, they're joking, right? They had to be joking,
Yeah,
but they're not.
they're not. um. Well, all right. That's probably enough flat Earth talk for one episode. We'll get back to it next week.
We should talk about
What
JD
else?
Vance real quick. The
Okay.
picture you sent me of his hair.
Yeah, man. At first I was like toupee or something, hairpiece of some sort for a bald spot on the back. Then I looked up more pictures, and he does have a nice head of hair. So I was like, I think he just got maybe someone he went to like a barber shop and he was doing his whole like, "Hey, I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president with Donald Trump," and they're like, "All right, let's butcher this guy's hair,"
They made
because
it look like a yarmulke a little bit, like a.
it does look like a little like I guess you said it. I was like, "What's that little hat that they wear?" And then you said it. I thought it was called something
But
else.
you thought it.
Um,
I said it.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. at first I was for sure. I was like, oh, it's crazy. He's got a hairpiece, but
Now you're not so
no, I
sure.
think it.
It does
Now
look
I
like
think
one. I
it does.
we're gonna we'll post a picture so we can
Yeah,
show
make
that.
do your own research, people, on JD Vance's hair. Dude, speaking of that, I need to send you a link to this YouTube channel I discovered called The Talk, where this guy just like cleverly edits two people interviewing each other. And like, it's not AI, it's not like a deep fake or anything. He's just taking like old interviews of random people, putting them together, and just like editing it very cleverly. It seems like very like time consuming,
Oh
but they're
yeah.
really great videos. The one that I just watched probably like 15 minutes ago was Mitch McConnell interviewing JD Vance. But it's like a young JD Vance. And man, I gotta send you the channel. It's so great. It's so random too. The Elon Musk versus, or not versus, but Elon and Kanye talking is awesome. The Will Smith Chris Rock one's super fascinating. Man, this guy is,
Wow.
or this woman, whoever, this person that runs this channel, they them are clever as heck. Yeah, so I'll send you a link to the talk. It's a good channel. Everyone check it out. Support them. And tell them that we sent you.
And what's it called again?
Um,
What's the YouTube
the
channel?
talk. It's just called the
The
talk.
Talk. Okay.
Yeah, pretty
Gotcha.
random or pretty not random. Pretty not memorable. The talk. I think that's a show too. The talk. I started a new show recently that I'm kind of obsessed with. You're not gonna like the name of the show. Nor will the algorithm probably. Oh, I said it again. I said the Voldemort word. The show's on AMC. It's called Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It's very very cool, dude. So it's a short show too. It's like two seasons. But it's like a really clever gimmick where it's a married couple, kind of strained relationship, but everything from the man's perspective is like a 90s sitcom. It's even filmed that way when it's like his perspective. But then when it goes to the woman's story, it turns into like Breaking Bad. It's like very dark and gritty, single camera.
Wow.
It's such an interesting idea for a show. I wish they kind of made more of it, but it's a nice story. Yeah,
I feel
Kevin,
like there's a lot
you can
of
fuck yourself. It's a show. It's a show. I swear.
yeah, yeah. No, I gotcha. I feel like there's been a lot of like
Seriously.
there's been a lot of shows or in movies where they've had like Kevin in the name. Like and
Mhm.
there's another one that I've never seen called like We Need to Talk About Kevin or something like that. And
I've
like
heard of that movie. Yeah.
apparently my name's associated with like psychopaths. So
Oh yeah. Or I always think of it from that Community episode, the Halloween episode, where it like ends with George Takei. He's like, if your name is Kevin, I'll record an answering machine message for you or something.
I use it.
Uh,
I use it to this day on
yeah.
my Google Voice. Yeah. Whenever somebody leaves me a, I don't usually get very many messages, but like if it's like a business calling and leave me a message, they're usually laughing when they're record like
Yeah.
after they hear that. What else is going on?
A lot of wishy-washy Washington. Wishy Washington. That's a good name for a show. Wishy-washy Washington stuff. Wishy Washington DC. The podcast. That's a good name.
That'd be an
Someone's
episode
gonna
name.
take it. Yeah, dude. Do that. So I got to talk a little bit of frustrations with RFK Jr. and also some frustrations with Kamala Harris. Okay, RFK Jr. He did this sort of like, I'm not ending, I'm just suspending the campaign, pulling out of some battleground states. Um, After like struggling to get ballot access.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, he's like, that's part of like my unity pledge with Trump. And now these states are like, well, now you can't get off the ballot since you want to get off the ballot.
Yeah, I've
So
actually I've heard a little bit of this. Maybe there's some that are being like partisan. There's some that have already printed ballots. I've heard about this
yeah,
recently.
yeah. There's a
I was like, well, yeah, it's kind of RFK's fault.
yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna run for president this late, and then you're gonna pull out and try to endorse somebody,
right.
it's kind of hard to just
Yes,
undo the work you already did.
right. I just think the irony of like the ballot access struggle, and then like when he does get it, then he's like, I don't want it anymore, and they're like, well, now you're stuck with it. It's just
Yeah,
it's. I mean, I
it,
don't understand his strategy on the whole thing. I don't like it, but also I don't like the just like
it should be easier to get on the ballot, first of all. But second of all, I do actually think it makes sense that you don't. I feel like you could have almost fake elections where you have somebody that's running, try to get on the ballot, and then at the last minute they'll get out and try to endorse somebody else, and it kind of
Yeah.
messes up like I don't know. It messes with like the people with the ballots and what they're going to show. The candidates.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like I said before, it's not ideal how this is all playing out with him. Um, but yeah, I just think the pettiness of it, and then the pettiness with Kamala right now, and they're like trying to change the rules of the debate.
Oh, I
You
heard
know,
about
they're
this the mic thing. Yeah,
the muted mics thing. It's like I understand why they're doing
yeah.
that because
Because
they
Trump will.
want
Yeah,
they want the interruptions. They want to have the moment of her being like, it's my turn. Some authority, whatever. But it's just like, come on. I mean, we just had a well, not for Joe Biden. It was not a successful debate, but it was
yeah.
actually it was a good structure for the debate. But I see how it just sort of backfired in a way.
They just
But
want
yeah,
Trump
it's
to be able to eat his foot because they'll
ramble.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, come on, like just let's stop. I mean, the debate on debates has been the thing they keep saying. We're done with debating on debates, but then they keep doing it. they,
Yeah.
they keep. I mean,
That's not a
I
showstopper, right? They're just saying that they want to have open mics.
I don't
I
know
really
if it's
hope.
gonna.
Yeah, if they, if
I don't.
I hope not.
I don't know, but yeah. Again, it's just Wishy Washington D.C. Petty politics. Yeah, just go up on stage, talk to each other for an hour and a half, and we can decide who would be better at the job. I think I am going to vote again. I was thinking for a second I'm not going to vote. Now I'm thinking I'm going to vote.
Rock the vote. Do it.
I'm still kind of cockblocked to vote. I sort of like that more. Just don't waste your time. I know it's like it's a privilege. It's a right, but it's not your duty really. If you don't, I don't want uneducated people voting. I don't want people who are just doing it for lesser of two evils to vote. So if you're not into something like the candidates, just skip it. Sit this one out. Um,
Or just
we should.
vote for a third party that you would like to maybe have them have funding in the next election. You could do that
Yeah. There's
to get
this like
5%.
weird kind of like policy, I guess, like with the independent party where if they get over 5%, they get some cash back. It's kind of a weird
Really?
thing. Yeah, I guess to legitimize the party next run. So I sort of want to be part of that, but I don't know. I don't even think he's on the ballot in Colorado, RFK Jr. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll just vote for the local stuff and I'll leave the president blank. I'm not really sure what to do about this one. Anyway, what else is? Oh yeah, President Pooh Bear, Xi Jinping. I saw recently he said he's planning on having a conversation with Joe Biden about like the importance of our weird relationship, our fake healthy relationship. So like during this transitional period with the presidents and stuff, which I was like, that's very nice of China, like to be like, hey, we just want to talk it out, see if we're on the same page about this. I didn't expect that. But I guess they can see like, oh, it's a shit show here, and we do kind of owe them some money, so I guess that's why they want to keep things cool. President Pooh Bear, I like that. This is not even interesting, but I'll say it anyway. Um, Public subs, we're Florida boys. We grew up on those
Love
things.
subs.
Pub subs. I didn't know that they were called like because recently I saw this article being like talking about like the best sandwiches in America. You probably have never even heard of them or tried them. It said pub subs, and I was like, I've never heard of pub subs. I didn't know they were called that. Were they
I
always
don't
called that?
no.
The kids probably made that up
Yeah,
recently. That
the
sounds
the
like
teeny
some
the teeny boppers.
yeah. I yeah, I wish we had those in Colorado. I I bet they're pretty much just the same as any other sandwich, honestly. But
I
it's just
They
like
have them
something
in
about the
Alabama.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. I get them occasionally. I actually go to Jimmy John's more out of convenience now. I
Yeah.
would go to Publix. I just feel like they kind of take a little too long usually. Their deli's busy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do enjoy them though. And then sometimes when you get the mobile orders, if you do like a not a mobile order, but like an online order and you go and pick it
Mhm.
up, I don't feel like they make them as like they kind of skimp on like the toppings.
Yeah.
It's just something I've noticed. I'm like, oh, maybe when you're watching them, there's like something where they're just like they're just trying to do a good job, and
Sure.
they're like, give me extra pickles, so they really do it. But
Yeah, I wonder if that's part of like the training. They're like in-person customers, just give them what they want, but just do the bare minimum
yeah,
for a delivery or a pickup.
I hope that's not the case. I do, yeah. Publix subs are great.
Yeah, I love sandwiches, man. I made a really good sandwich the other day. It was like a French dip kind of.
Nice.
I made this like I got a bunch of like high quality beef stock. I cooked it down like till it was like just super thick and like concentrated and stuff with a bunch of herbs and aromatics. And I was dipping it in there, and it was like nice and fall weathery out and stuff. And I was like,
Hmm.
dude, this is the most wonderful time of the year. I just gotta say it. Technically, not until October, but we're getting close.
Yeah,
3 weeks till fall. Are you feeling any fall vibes yet?
yeah. Starbucks started doing the pumpkin spice. I
Yeah.
watched your food review episode.
Oh yeah.
Very
I
good.
worked really hard on
What
it.
was that sandwich again that you got? Because I don't think I've ever had that one. I saw the
It's
baked one, the potato
it's the mozzarella egg kale pesto
kale pesto.
frittata sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah. They also had another one. It was like a maple like kind of like a fried chicken patty
I've seen
on
those,
an
yeah.
egg with maple butter.
Hmm.
It was not good.
Oh, okay.
It was not good.
I've only ever had their egg bites, like the roasted red pepper one they have,
Yeah. Oh, this is so good.
and the feta one, spinach feta wrap. Those are good. And
Did
even
I ever tell?
the
Oh,
Impossible
sorry.
one's
Go
pretty
ahead.
good too. I know you don't like the fake meat on the Impossible,
Yeah.
but the Impossible sausage I actually like too.
I don't know if I ever told you this anecdote. I was getting iced coffee and some sous vide egg bites at a Starbucks, and the woman who was like behind the counter was just shit talking me, like in front of me to the other
Whoa.
employee. It was really weird. I almost thought about like putting something online, being like, "Hey," I thought that was a little disrespectful because she was like, she was like, I don't understand why people order these things. Is it sous vide egg bites? She's like, why would someone pay like she's like it's like half an hour of my how much I make for 2 eggs. That's crazy. She's just like she's making fun of the sous vide egg bites, kind of making
Wait,
fun of me for
the employee, the Starbucks employee?
yeah, the employee.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
just and like complaining about like I don't make enough money to like justify the and I'm just like okay,
That
I
sounds like a
mean
her problem. She needs to get her hourly wages up.
it,
Um,
she just had a bad attitude. I mean, I that does suck and stuff. Everything she was saying, but like, I mean, come on, keep it to yourself, lady. I mean,
yeah,
and also it's not 2 eggs. There's a lot more to it.
yeah.
It's a lot of cottage cheese, lady. Also,
Think of the cottage cheese, for God's sake.
it's totally worth 5.50 for 2 little pucks of cottage cheese and egg. I love it. They're so good. I tried making them at home too. They were not the same. You know, I
Yeah,
even bought these like this sous vide egg mold, and it just wasn't the same. I mean, I was like,
I've tried to
and
make
I
them
bought
at
the
home
ones from
too.
the store in the frozen food section, just not the same. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough podcasting for one day. That's a good way to get out of an episode, right? Just be like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm suspending the podcast. I'm not ending it. I'm suspending it.
Ooh, that might be a good episode name. We're suspending the podcast. And then people are going to be
Yeah.
very confused or unsubscribe, but maybe we shouldn't do that.
I don't know. We did a podcast like I think
The
probably
last
like season
podcast, I remember
two.
that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like the final one or something, and I don't think anyone was like, "What?"
Nobody cares.
I mean, I was kind of shocked because I was like, "We're just getting started, dude. We're gonna get hundreds and hundreds of views someday." um, yeah, let's play some Rocket League.
All
All
right.
right, peace out,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.